Hello and welcome, guys. We are starting our intermediate cognitive skills training. So I'm very happy to see you. In this training, just like in the previous training, we will be doing different exercises on each video and we will be changing our thinking patterns thanks to that, doing home task and learning new materials. So please make sure to follow and to do video one by one. So, in the basic cognitive skills, we discussed how it's important to separate and differentiate facts and thoughts and emotions. We also discussed different interpretation style and mastered ABCD technique to change those interpretation styles. And today in particular, we're going a bit more into cognitive therapy and where it all comes from. So I will give you just very important information on how our character gets developed, how our worldview gets developed, and so on, according to cognitive behavioral therapy. So I made a simple drawing like that. Here we see what? This drawing is meant to symbolize an iceberg. So on the top, above water, we see this small little mountain. But underneath it, there is a huge zone which we do not see. So basically, this is what's going on in our mind, in our psyche, and which is influencing our life. On the top surface right here, we have our behaviors that are visible, our emotions that are visible, our thoughts that we might be aware of, and so on and so on. So on the top, we have visible things, surface levels things. And then if we go deeper and deeper, we can find on the deepest level are our core beliefs. On the intermediate level are our different assumptions. So core beliefs and assumptions are not visible. And this is the work, for example, of cognitive behavioral therapy, when we uncover what assumptions and core beliefs a person has and how they influence them, their life, and how they create the problem that this person might be facing. And then by changing those assumptions and those beliefs, we can see big change on the surface as well. So for example, if you come with a problem of, let's say, some bad habit, it's possible that the bad habit is only something seen on the surface, but behind it there are some assumptions or some beliefs creating the problem in the first place. So what are we going to do in this intermediate section of cognitive skills is we're going to address our deeper assumptions and our deeper core beliefs and learn to deal with them and learn to change them so that we can see change on the surface level as well. And yeah, but why is it not so obvious? It's because we are not aware of those. So they are kind of hidden from us, and it's not that easy to notice them on your own because you are used to them. You are used to seeing them all the time. So for you, they are obvious. They're like sky is blue. And this is why it's much easier to come to consultations and just work with the psychologist instead of just trying to analyze your own cognitions by yourself, because it's really difficult to notice them in you by yourself. But I will give you some exercises to simplify that so that you can at least do some progress on your own. So let's begin with our core beliefs. This is our deepest level, this one. What are core beliefs? Core beliefs in general can be separated in three main groups. First group is our beliefs about ourselves. Second group is beliefs about other people. And third group is beliefs about the world. So in general, we can find several main ideas that people can have about themselves. One idea is whether I'm strong or weak. So somebody might think deep inside them, might believe deep inside them that they are weak or that they are strong. Another idea that we might have is this idea that I am smart or stupid, beautiful or ugly, special, better than others, or completely useless, a loser, worse than other people, and so on. And we can have even several core ideas at the same time, and sometimes even contradicting core ideas. Like, for example, someone with narcissistic traits might have at the same time core idea that I am wonderful, better than anyone, and just super special, and at the same time have idea that I'm horrible, I'm ugly, nobody loves me, and like kind of humiliating themselves with this idea. So it can be contradictory and it's not logical. Where do those ideas come from? They come from our childhood. So these ideas, they're like echo of experiences we had in childhood. So they are not very smart or developed. They can be contradictory, they can be black and white, they can be completely not true, but we still have them. And those ideas are core beliefs. So we have core beliefs about ourselves, and then we also have core beliefs about other people. So, for example, we can think that others are stronger than us or weaker than us, that others are kind or evil, that others are dangerous or safe to be around, and so on and so on. And depending on what our core beliefs about other people are and about ourselves as well, we choose our behavior. So sometimes we see this picture as a person, let's say here, for example, having anxiety attachment, and we don't understand like why is it going on. But if we go on deeper level and we see their core beliefs, we will find that maybe they have this idea that I am weak, I cannot manage on my own, and other people are strong, so I need to rely on them in order to survive, and this makes them so anxious to rely on other people. Or if you have somebody with avoidant attachment here on top, they might have core ideas that I am strong and I rely on myself to solve my issues, and others are stupid or weak and not reliable. So our core beliefs manifest themselves and show themselves in superficial things as well, but it's not that easy to figure it out on our own. What is this middle layer then? Middle layer is our assumptions. Wait, I didn't explain about the world. So we have core ideas about ourselves, core ideas about other people, and also core ideas about the world. Like, for example, the world is fair or the world is unfair, the world is kind or the world is evil, the world is safe or the world is dangerous, the world is chaotic or there is order in the world, and so on. And these ideas about ourselves, other people, and the world are all parts of the worldview that we developed in our childhood, being in our own unique circumstances in life. So if, for example, your parents was very anxious, you might develop this idea that I am weak and the world is dangerous, something like that. So we sometimes adopt ideas from our parents. Or if the parent was spoiling us and didn't manage to give us enough boundaries and discipline, then we might get this idea that I'm smart, I'm special, I'm much better than everybody else, so I don't need to follow the rules. So our core ideas come from our childhood. Oftentimes they are not adaptive anymore in our adult life. Like maybe when you were a child, thinking that other people are unreliable and dangerous was legitimate. Like it was completely fine because your family was not reliable. However, when you grow up, there are many more people around you who are reliable. So this idea is limiting you and is harming your life. And this is why we want to find out our core ideas, our core ideas, because even if we don't know them, they continue influencing our life in adult relationships, adult career, and so on and so on. And they might no longer be relevant to our life. So what is here on the middle level? Here we have assumptions, rules, expectations, such middle level cognitions. For example, if your core belief here is that you are weak and other people are strong, and you are stupid and other people are smart, your rule or assumption or expectation can be something like, I cannot trust myself, I need to always ask for advice, or I need to always listen to what others tell and follow their advice or their opinion, because my opinion is most likely wrong. Or if you have core ideas that you are special and wonderful and just much better than everybody else and other people are stupid, you're gonna have a rule that I should only rely on myself and shouldn't try to find useful information from other people because most likely they are stupid. So this is your assumption in this middle level. Another example, if you have this belief about yourself that you are, let's say, a bad person, unlovable or horrible in some way, or selfish, you might have an assumption that I have to control myself very much or I will hurt people that I love. Okay? Or you might have an assumption that nobody can love me because I'm so horrible, so I'm going to avoid relationships. So basically, these are like our general settings, like understanding of who I am, who other people are, and what the world is. And this second layer about assumptions is a set of rules we use to survive in this kind of reality. So if you believe yourself to be weak and other people strong, you will have one rule here. If you believe that other people are unreliable to support you, you will have here the rule that I do not rely on other people. If you believe that the world is unpredictable and dangerous, here you might have this belief that I should control everything all the time, otherwise it can fall apart, and so on. So basically what we have those basic settings like a program which works in our consciousness and brain and all that. And then from this appear different kind of rules and assumptions which we follow without realizing them. And I assure you, now you may be listening to me and you're thinking, but I don't have those assumptions. It's not easy to notice them because they're like this hidden underwater. What we see this top layer and we don't see those two. So what happens about those assumptions and core beliefs? When certain situation happens and those core beliefs get activated and assumptions get activated, they start showing themselves in behavior or our words or our relationships or our feelings or our thoughts. So for example, let's say you have this core belief that I am weak and the world is dangerous. You can have this assumption that I am weak, the world is dangerous. It means that I need to always be in control and to always be on guard. And because of it, you might have a lot of anxiety, a lot of controlling behavior. You might also have difficulty relaxing. You might have different rituals and habits that help you control your life and so on. So from deep core belief, we can see those things rising from it. Another example is, let's say you have core belief that I am unlovable and that other people cannot love me. So your rule, let's say here, would be that nobody can love me. If they say they love me, they lie to me. So here we can see that whenever somebody is approaching you, trying to be your friend or trying to give you a compliment or something like that, you become rude towards them, you act very cold towards them, you do not trust them. Why? Because your core belief, I am unlovable, is active and you do not trust that anyone can love you. So you are kind of pushing away anything that is not corresponding to our beliefs. And this is what is going on and why we can make many weird actions and think many weird things, and because it comes from those deeper levels. And basically in intermediate skills we are going to learn how to change those and how they are interconnected. And I will give you one exercise for practice and for your home task. It's called falling star. Not falling star, falling arrow, falling arrow, that's what it's called. Basically, the idea is that we start with this surface level, and then asking ourselves questions, we go deeper and deeper until we find out our core beliefs. So how to perform this falling star technique? You find any kind of event that makes you feel anxious or uneasy, or I don't know, that makes you feel uncomfortable feelings, and you find out your emotions and your thoughts about this event. Like, let's for example imagine you like someone but you're avoiding telling them that you like them. So this is the situation. Write down your thoughts about the situation, the surface level thoughts. Maybe the surface level thoughts is that if I try speaking to her, she wouldn't like me and she would reject me, something like that. This is classic future telling, cognitive distortion. So we write it down. And then what you can ask yourself, so if she does not like you, why is it so bad for you? Or if she doesn't like you, why is that? Why wouldn't she like you? So if she doesn't like you, what would it mean for you? Or what will be the result of her not liking you? And so on. You can invent different kind of questions. Let me read them all more or less. So first one is, if this is true, what would it mean? If she doesn't like you, why would be a problem for you? Why would she not like you? What is the reason? Or what other thoughts does this idea lead you towards? What will happen next if she doesn't like you? Or what would you think if it happens as you expect it to happen? What is the scariest thing that can happen if she doesn't like you? And so on. And many of those questions that I encourage you to reflect upon and to write down in your journal can lead you to see deeper level ideas and beliefs that you have. So, for example, shallow level, if I try talking to her, she wouldn't like me. You ask yourself, like, why would it be so bad if she doesn't like me? What would it mean if she doesn't like me? And you reply that, well, if she doesn't like me, it means I'm a boring person. And you ask yourself, so what? So what's the big problem? And you might say, well, nobody will ever like me. And you ask yourself, why is it so scary for you? What is the worst part about it? And you reply, I will always be alone. And then you ask yourself, like, why is being alone scary for you? What is so bad about it? And here we come towards assumption that I cannot be happy alone, I cannot survive alone. And we ask, why cannot I survive alone? And we end up falling into our core belief that I am weak, let's say. So you see, we started with this superficial thought, she wouldn't like me if I tried talking to her, and we step by step asking questions fall into our core belief. So for example, core belief, I am weak, I cannot handle it on my own, I need other people and I need to rely on them, as an assumption. Okay, so basically what we do, we take our scheme and we kind of go through it. We go into the depth of this iceberg. Wait, I'll find, where is this iceberg drawn? Second. So yeah, basically what we do, we start here and asking questions. We go on the deeper level and find out our core beliefs. So your goal is to find out what you think deep inside about yourself, about other people, about the world. And remember that different core beliefs can get activated in different situations. So, for example, you might at the same time have core belief that you're wonderful and at the same time have core belief that you're horrible. And depending on situation in which you happen to be, different core belief can get activated. And please take this into consideration. And that's why your home task is not just analyzing one situation like that, but analyzing as many situations as you can, preferably in different spheres of life. And this way you can find out your core beliefs. They can be contradicting, there can be many of them, or there can be just one of them. And this is very, very important exercise, and I really hope you will have many discoveries using it. So basically the exercise is that you find a negative thought and then you create a chain of questions to go deeper and deeper and deeper into the meaning of this thought. If this thought was true, if your negative thought is true, what is so scary about it? What makes it scary for you? And this way we go deeper and deeper and we find the real reason that can be upsetting for us. And this is really important, and even many like therapists or people who work with that can make this mistake. Like, for example, a person is coming to them and saying like, I'm scared to talk to this girl because what if she rejects me and doesn't like me? And the therapist might think that, oh, the problem is with communication, we need to practice communication and he will be able to do it. But actually the problem might be that this person has core belief, I am weak. So they seek relationships and they are so scared of rejection, not because they are lacking in communication, but because they have this deep core belief that I am weak, so I need to rely on other people in order to survive, and I cannot do it on my own. And here you should not work on their communication skills. On the contrary, we should work on their mastery, on their agency, on their ability to rely on themselves so that they can feel strong and reliable for themselves, and then they won't be so scared to approach other people. So this is just one example when superficial problem can have like completely different core belief behind it. And your home task will be doing at least 3 different situations and trying to find out your core beliefs about yourself, about other people, and about the world in this situation. Asking yourself question, if this thought is true, why is it bad? What does it mean for me? So, for example, if you have a thought, I will fail this exam, you can ask yourself, if it happens, why is it bad for me? What is so scary about it? And you reply that, for example, if I fail this exam, I will be kicked out of university and I will uh, become homeless or something like that. And you ask yourself, why is it so bad that you get kicked out of university? And then you might go deeper and say that, well, it means that I will be in danger. It means that nobody will help me and I will just not survive. So you ask yourself why nobody would help me, and then you might end up finding out that maybe you think deep inside as your core belief that other people are dangerous and evil and you cannot rely on them, so you are scared of making mistakes because then you cannot protect yourself and you have to ask for help from other people and you do not trust them. So this is another example related to other people. It can be also about the world, being chaotic and so on and so on. Like, for example, you can have this issue that you ask yourself, like, why am I procrastinating on working out? Why don't I work out? And you ask yourself, like, what is my negative thought that is stopping me? And your negative thought that it doesn't matter if I work out. And you ask yourself, so why doesn't matter? What is the meaning of that? And you reply that, well, it doesn't matter because it doesn't guarantee like 100% result. And you ask yourself, so what if it doesn't guarantee 100% result? Why is it bad then? And then you might find out this assumption that uncertainty is terrible and I need guarantees in order to do something. Or you might find even like deeper core belief that the world is unfair and chaotic, so it doesn't matter if I try to improve my health, because in the end it's unpredictable and I can die anyway. So yeah, your task is finding several situations in your present life, in your future, in your past, that were causing different emotions for you, especially negative emotions, and asking yourself what it meant for you. What is the reason? Why is this situation so painful? And creating the chain of questions so that you fall into your core beliefs. I remind you, three main core beliefs: core beliefs about yourself, core beliefs about other people, and core beliefs about the world. So yes, let me know what you find out in the comments, and we will continue doing our exercises in cognitive skills in the next video. And I see you soon. And remember that the best thank you can give me is sharing my channel in your social networks with your friends and letting them know if you like it. And I see you soon. Bye bye.